Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings.
Hi guys, hope you're all doing okay. Sorry, I know I've had a little bit of time off. I did something which they tell you never to do. I woke up the other morning and I've had a recent bout. They come out of the woodworks and they all seem to go for you at once. But I obviously get a lot of trolls attacking me online and stuff because of the subject that I talk about. And I woke up and I read some stuff that I shouldn't have read. I should know better. And I cried. I got really upset. I was really miserable for a couple of days. My husband was worried about me and I just said I don't want to do it anymore. So now I'm kind of over that. I'm even more engaged to bring out more stuff. Rather than letting trolls and people bully you and stuff and put you off doing what you want to do, I'd say use them for fuel for your fire. So I'm back. I'm going to be pumping out quite a few videos this week because, well, I practically had most of last week off. Obviously, I'm going to be doing catch-ups. It's a little bit of old news. I'm sure most of you would have already read about the Time 100 interview with Harry and Meghan. It didn't go unnoticed that again the books have moved in the studio in the background. Every video that comes out, I don't know if you notice this, but watch this going forward, you'll notice that the books have moved. There's a new plant, there's a new crystal. This is because I believe they are filming in a studio. This is why they change it. And there's a little bit of virtue signalling depending on where they have the books and what type of books that they are. So I'm not going to go too deep into what they said because, well, we know what it's going to be. It's the same in every single interview that they do. It is a word salad and it is rehashed. There's lots of stuff that gets brought up. It's the same buzzwords from both of them now. It doesn't really mean a lot. They seem to bring up problems, but again, it's talking about the world's problems, but there is actual no resolve. They don't come up with any suggestions. It's just we've all got to change. We've all got to do something different. We need to change everything that we do. But to what? They never actually give any sort of reasoning. But luckily we heard from a few other people on this. So one of the people that was really interesting that they spoke to, and I found myself nodding along with what he said, it was very well educated, was Serena Williams' husband, Alexis Ohanian. I've tried to say that several times. But yeah, it was really, I do understand completely what he's saying. There is a lot that needs to be done on social media. And if this was Harry and Meghan's message, then I would totally, back them on this. Social media does need to change. There needs to be a lot more put in place to stop hate groups, to stop radicalisation, people being indoctrinated into religions and various other things. And then obviously you've got the really extreme bullying. Now, I know some of you who are not fans of me that still watch my videos so you can, basically badmouth me. I don't bully Meghan or Harry. What my channel is, I am talking about news articles, stories that come out on social media. Someone else has written this, someone else has come up with this, and I give my views, my opinions on it. There's actually several videos that I've done where I've defended Harry and Meghan, believe it or not, where I've, turned around and said, well, I think that's a load of crap, and I think that the newspapers have done unnecessary stories on them. I try and keep my channel fair, but there is real bullying out there, and you put in your complaints with Twitter or YouTube, someone said all these horrible things about me, someone's given me death threats, and it takes a fair few days. They can post false information about you, they can put personal information about you, and they don't seem to do enough to help people that are genuinely being targeted. So I definitely agree with the message that Alexis is trying to put across, but when I heard Harry and Meghan speak about it, they still seem to only be scratching the surface, and it seems to still revolve around them and what they've been through. And no matter what the speech is, no matter what the subject is, we still seem to get that narrative that starts getting gradually slipped in, and before you know it, Meghan's talking about her experiences, or Harry's talking about Meghan's experiences, and it just seems to all kind of revolve around them. Obviously she's trying to build a picture for this court case that she is worldwide bullied and subject to unfair harassment, but I don't actually believe this to be true because Meghan doesn't use social media. It is funny, isn't it, how often Harry and Meghan were on social media, but it's only once they started receiving criticism that then social media became this big evil thing. Now, bullying and being harassed is somewhat different to being called out and being criticised. And I can't help but feel that's what Harry and Meghan want to stop, like freedom of speech. They don't want newspapers or websites or people like me being able to comment and to talk about things that they've done where they're being called out as hypocrites. They see that and try and project it as that's hate speech and that's bullying. And It's really not. If anyone who is a public figure behaves badly, politicians, actors, actresses, singers, if you behave badly, you're going to get called out on it. That's not hate speech. That's not someone targeting you. That's you behaving in a certain way that is basically calling into question why are they behaving that way. It's completely different. Now, Harry did bring up one of his favourite taglines. It seems to be the only thing that he doesn't need to look at notes to be prompted with. We are in a global crisis of hate. We are in a global crisis of misinformation. And we are in a global crisis of mental health issues. Yes, there is a big global crisis going on right now, Harry. Absolutely. But it's got nothing to do with social media. There are many, many people around the world that are not sure they're going to be able to afford Christmas this year, let alone buy their children presents or be able to keep a roof over their head. But yes, let's keep talking about poor Meghan getting a few negative criticisms on social media. I remember when Harry and Meghan did a post saying that they were going to concentrate all of their efforts on working on how they can help people due to the actual real global crisis that's going on. That's kind of fallen quiet, isn't it? That was a bandwagon 10 bandwagons ago, that's why. I struggle to understand why so many well-known outlets and magazines and newspapers and whoever it is that Meghan and Harry are jumping on and is using social media, obviously, to get their voices and their opinions heard, give them such a platform, because they do talk about problems that are out there, but they talk about problems that are out there like they're the ones that just discovered it. You know, they're Christopher Columbus. We didn't know that there was an issue with this. You know, now that Harry and Meghan have told us, oh, we must right our ways, people. They use the same message and everything. It's the same words, the same buzzwords, the same verbal diarrhea that's rehashed, jiggled around. And it's just, they're not coming up with any solutions. They're just talking. You listen to every single one of their speeches. It's just talking. They are definitely one of the most boring celebrity couples, and they are celebrities now, aren't they? Whether you like them, whether they're famous, whether they're infamous, but they are nothing more than a celebrity couple. But if they were just a celebrity couple, would they have these platforms and people giving them a leg up? I don't think so. The reason why is because of who Harry's family is. It's because his grandmother's the Queen, his brother is a future monarch, and his father is obviously the next king. And Meghan is just tagging along for the ride. This is why she didn't have a career in politics or have all these platforms and magazines wanted to interview her when she was just, you know, Meghan Markle, Rachel Zane from Suits. So they are merching their titles. They are absolutely using their titles. Everything they appear on, it's not Harry and Meghan, just call me H. No, no, no. It's the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. They are merching their titles, which I'm sure by now must be in total breach of the Megxit agreement. So we had a gushing post from Edward, I think he's the chief CEO and editor of Times Magazine, which led me to kind of go, I'm just going to have a quick Google. You know, he's put this gushing post up. It seems that Edward and the multi-billionaire owner of Times Magazine, Mark Benioff, I believe that's how you pronounce his surname, has certain friends in a certain political area, shall we say. Let's keep it neutral. But you might recognise a few familiar faces here. I mean, what are the chances that the Soho House owner, the multi-billionaire mogul, where Meghan managed to meet Harry, is owned by Ron Burkle, who is one of the biggest Clinton donors and a close friend also of the Clintons? And not to stop there, the owner of Times Magazine is also buddies with, you guessed it, Reed Hastings, the multi-billionaire of Netflix. Well, I'll just leave you to draw your own conclusions here. I'm not saying anything. It might be that I need to get out a bit more, or I should take my tin hat off. But when people used to say to me a long time ago, oh yeah, Meghan, this is totally set up, she's got backers, I used to be like, oh, don't be ridiculous. Take your tin hat off. Don't be so daft with all these conspiracy theories. But then when you look at all the multi-million-pound deals and the leg-ups that they seem to be getting, the same familiar faces seem to be cropping up. Is this just pure coincidence, or do I need to lay off the coffee? Let me know your thoughts on this one. So let's get back to the tweet that I mentioned from Times editor Edward Felsenthal. I've got an issue with what he states here, because he's saying that it was so great talking to Harry and Meghan, obviously the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, we can't let that slide, on their focus on misinformation and building online safer communities. Kind of ironic considering Harry and Meghan have got one of the most vicious fan bases out there. And I'm not putting everyone under that box. There are some nice, reasonable Harry and Meghan friends that I have heard from, that I've spoken to. I've had really nice conversations with various people. But there obviously are a small number of them that are pretty horrific, and they will attack anyone and everyone. We're talking royal reporters, we're talking newsreaders, anyone that says anything that can be interpreted as not absolute adoration and appreciation of the very ground that Meghan Markle walks on, they get destroyed. We've heard from people that have given interviews to other people, people that have called out finding freedom. They have then been under, relentless attacks. So for Harry and Meghan to never, ever have called out their fan base when they attack Harry's family with so much vitriol. I mean, they've said disgusting things about Catherine, the Queen, even the Cambridge children are not safe. Yet they never say a word because the Sussex squad absolutely adore them, don't they? And this is where I just think you can't just call out one particular area of social media when you don't call out all of it. Now, the bit that is a bit humorous here, rather than being all serious, is the fact that he says about Harry and Meghan's focus on misinformation. Are you kidding me? Misinformation from this couple? Where do we start? Wanting to be full-time working royals, wanting to have Frogmore Cottage. I mean, they went to the point where they used taxpayers' money to decorate it to a high-spec level, and they barely spent any time there. They took the tours, they took the money for the wedding, they took all of everything that they could lay their hands on, they absolutely took in their lives, trying to convince the world that this is the path that they wanted. And as it turned out, they never wanted this path. Harry has since, said so many times that he wanted to leave the monarchy for ages and it was Meghan that saved him. Well, if he was that intent on leaving the monarchy, why not leave at the very beginning when you met Meghan? Surely she could have saved her prince then. We had misinformation about when Archie was born, what hospital he's at, who his godparents are. Then we had misinformation about, oh no, they're going to Canada for a break. No, they weren't. Megxit, they lied to everyone. They didn't even tell the Queen, and Harry didn't even tell the armed forces, the military titles that he cares so much about. He didn't tell them. He didn't tell his parents, his brother, nothing, no respect for anyone. They basically did a runner. Then they were lying where they were living. Then they were lying that they were going to live in Canada. Then they were lying that where they were staying in America. They were at Tyler Perry's mansion. No, now they're in this mansion in Montecito, which I call utter BS on. They said that they weren't sort of hawking ideas around to all of the big TV channels, Amazon and Netflix. Oh, look, they've got a $150 million deal from Netflix now. They are constantly spreading lies. And here they are. You've got people saying, oh, they're great. They're really focused on stopping the spread of misinformation. Take that as translation. They want the misinformation to be any media outlets that say anything negative about them. They want them stopped. I think that's called stopping free speech. So we also had the launch, the much anticipated launch of Archewell Foundation, charitable, non-profit, whatever. It was a very, very boring post. The fact that they've put Archewell on a nice beige screen and then have decided to put underneath the breakdown of what Archewell means. How pretentious. See, no one actually knows what this charity is going to do apart from, steal all your data. If you so much as log onto their website, they have got your IP address, your information, and they can then sell it on to a third party. Now, if you're even more interested in finding out when their updates are going to be, you've got a chance to enter your email address and personal information. They have the right to sell. You don't have an option to opt out. They have a right to sell all of your information to third parties. Do you know what that means? These are the phone calls, the junk mails, the crap that you get coming up your computer. They are selling your information for people to then bombard you with marketing. This is a couple that want their privacy and also preach about, the pitfalls and taking control back of social media, but they're going to sell on your information. You can't make this stuff up, can you? So to finish up, we have had the sad news that Prince Philip has officially walked away from Harry and Meghan. I say sad news because it is sad for the Queen, it is sad for Philip. Philip is apparently confused after Megxit and the way that Harry and Meghan have behaved. He was originally quite fond of Meghan in the beginning, but obviously as everything and the destruction that has happened since Meghan joined the family, all of the lies, all of the information, all of the stuff that we know that they've fed to Finding Freedom, which has completely trashed the family, given away personal information about members of the monarchy, even talking about how many steps there are down to the Queen's jewellery vault. I mean, they must be breaching security with some of the stuff that they've said. Harry has allowed his wife to completely trash and vilify his entire family, so I can only begin to presume the amount of hurt and heartache that they have caused the Queen and Philip in their final years. Plus Prince Charles, who now Harry's got an adoptive father in the form of David Foster, Catherine McPhee's husband, they do nothing but seem to attack the monarchy that has given them everything, and I'm not surprised that Philip has walked away from them. I think a lot worse probably would have happened if Philip was about 20 years younger. I don't think Harry and Meghan would have got away as lightly as they currently seem to be, but hopefully this is all going to get called in again when it comes to the review. If Harry and Meghan had chosen to walk away at the beginning when they got married and ventured onto the life that they want to now lead, and they hadn't lied to everyone, then they wouldn't have received the amount of criticism that they had. They could have literally just had a nice wedding. They still could have had a nice wedding. Look at Charles's wedding to Camilla. Look at even Princess Eugenie's. It was a lot more low-key, but it was classy, it was beautiful. She still had the same wedding venue and a church and a nice carriage ride, but it didn't cost anywhere near as much. Plus, she didn't have hundreds of celebrities in there instead of her family. They took all the tours, they took all the money, they took everything that the monarchy could absolutely give them. They took taxpayers' money, they literally lied to everyone, and then when they decided to leave, they lied about that. They lied about their reasons, that they wanted privacy, they wanted to move to Canada, they wanted to bring Archie up with an element of normality. I mean, he's growing up locked up in a mansion in LA, and Meghan's too famous to take him to mummy and baby groups. You know, even Catherine does that, and she's our future queen. They have done so much, which has caused a lot of the negative press and stories that they receive. And then obviously when they get called out for it, Harry has reacted so angrily and petulant, and he's attacked his family. He's allowed his wife and her friends to attack his own family. Harry literally wanted to leave the monarchy with Meghan. They wanted to have their cake and eat it. And at the moment, I still feel that's pretty much what they're doing. I really hope that there is a massive crackdown and we do see massive changes come into play when they have this review. But I just want to really get this message out there. I know some of you will never believe me, but most of you do believe me. Harry and Meghan absolutely receive the criticism and the bad press that they do because of how they treat others and how they behave. So for a couple that are continuously preaching, be kind to people, we need to change our ways. Sorry guys, people in glass houses should not throw boulders. So that's the end of this video for me. I'm just gonna tell you quickly about there's gonna be another video which I'm hopefully gonna release tonight or tomorrow morning. I have teamed up with one of my friends and we are going to start a new YouTube channel. Don't worry, I'm still going to be doing this. This is my main job, but we're going to be talking about, she's actually a qualified counsellor and a life coach. And there's lots of subjects we as friends, we talk about that it really grates us on social media that there's not enough videos out there talking about it. And we want to normalise certain subjects. The video is going to be called Ems and Taz Let's Talk. We filmed our first video, which is going to be aired on my channel. We're going to do another video, which will be released next weekend, and that will also be on my channel. And then hopefully, if you guys give us enough positive reviews, then we're obviously then going to be going over to our new channel and we would love for you to join us. We are also going to be setting up an email address which will be on next week's video, where we'd like you to write into us and tell us subjects that you might like us to bring up and to discuss that you don't feel there is enough discussion out there. So I look forward to introducing my buddy Ems to you in the next video, and I'm also going to be doing, I promise, nothing is coming between me and you guys this week. 3 separate videos, excluding the one that I'm doing with Ems. So I am going to do 3 whole videos before this week is out. I absolutely promise, and you can hold me to it. So I will see you guys very soon. Take care for now. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers the time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.